And welcome everybody to Neutral Perspective. Arsenal have beaten Forest 3-0 at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal dominated Forest. You know why? Because Forest had a massive advantage. Disadvantage, it was always about using the disadvantage technique. You look at Forest, who sacked Nuno a couple of days after the West Ham defeat. You know, you got players who've had international breaks, and it is a massive problem when you have players you've been using for international breaks to not spend time with manager. It's not their fault. I'm not going to blame them, say it's your fault that you chose international football. No one's going to choose spending time with manager over their international team. But I think Arsenal just produced why they were ruthless today. They pushed. They were hungry for. They were hungry for the goals. Nottingham Forest didn't really do that much for me. I don't think Forest didn't use the attacking capabilities they have. I mean, Chris Wood was poor today again. Last two games against West Ham and Arsenal, it was just poor. Zubimendi, man, this guy, oh my god, I think he's the most underrated Arsenal player. People can say it's Mascara, people can say Trossard, Martinelli, people can give that it's a good signing for Arsenal, and it was perfect. The wonder goal first half, the third goal, that's what Forest lacked today. Forest lacked the threat that they had. They didn't produce enough threat for me to say, wow, they impressed me. I think of Forest with the Masterclass situation. It just didn't click well for me. I don't think it was out of order for owners to sack managers. I think Masterclass was an ungrateful person. It was not because he just didn't have faith. He didn't have have any faith for Nuno at the start, and that's what problem the owners. They don't have faith. By the way, Bournemouth is winning 1-0 against Brighton. Alex Scott scored, Anton Semenyo assisted 20 minutes during the match. But I just think it's not the right way to end your career as a Forest manager, because he took Forest to Europa League. That's something a lot of Forest fans wanted. It's just the fact that I think Merkel has asked too much for and he didn't give it. But I just think with Arsenal, this is what Arsenal needed for a long time: a prolific striker like Bucharest, two backup players like Eze. You've got players like Noni Madueke. I'm sorry that I was too critical for you against Liverpool. You did prove me wrong. You did prove me wrong by giving amazing performance today. But I just think Zubimendi outshined you. If Zubimendi didn't score those 2 goals, then I would have given you the man of the match. But Zubimendi proved why he's an Arsenal player. It's just the fact that Arsenal can produce something that Forest couldn't. Odegaard got injured. It was a massive downfall for Odegaard to get injured. Odegaard is a massive star for Arsenal. But it's just the fact that he landed on the same shoulder that he got injured earlier this season. And the same thing with Morata. Morata got injured as well, so that was a massive mistake for Forest to give up. Because Forest, I think with Forest, it was just like they had Arsenal where they wanted, with the fact that Forest had like new Arsenal tactics with corners. It changed the whole attacking formation from Arsenal. But I don't think Forest knew that. Okay, I think Forest thought, okay, Arsenal's goals are just going to be corners. But it wasn't. Goycrez, my God, Goycrez is another star. He's an amazing player, and people don't give him credit because he is the most goals scored in across Europe, whereas Lisbon. But where is and I'm just looking at this team Forest had Ndoye, Gibbs White, Hudson-Odoi, Wood. They disappeared. They didn't. It wasn't really it was more like a one-sided game. I am disappointed in those players. I'm disappointed that they didn't produce the attacking threat that they could have given Forest hope. It was just like three players lost in the Forest. Couldn't find themselves out. Couldn't find themselves way out. But it was just like the connection that Madueke, Eze, Moreno, Goycrez, they had. It was far stronger than the connection that Ndoye, Gibbs White, and Ndoye Wood has. It's not fair to blame And when he only had one game. It's not fair to blame And when he's only had lack of preparations for Arsenal because of international break. But you have to think about this. Is that you have to, And had, I don't know, like, I don't know what to say, like, he had an okay career at Tottenham last season. Yes, Spurs won the Europa League last season against Manchester United, 1-0, Brendan Johnson scored. But then you have to think about the fact that Ant had taken Spurs to 17th in the league. It's just, when you have to deal with problems, these sort of problems in life. You have to, if you've got a problem, you have to sort it out. You can't just let a massive advantage that Arsenal players can use to use Forest's weakness. Because, think about it, Sales and Raya kept 13 clean sheets last season. They had the most, they won the Golden Glove last season. But it was just, Sales is just, Sales' massive problem is that he massively relied on his massively relied on the tactics and had. I do feel sorry for the players. I don't feel sorry for Americaners. It's his fault that Forest is defeated because they just sacked Nuno at a time where he could have done something. He could have done something Forest. Maybe give them a point, but it's the same thing that I saw against West Ham. You know, today it was not his day. I mean, 4-2-3-1, it's a good formation, but would it work? Would it work for West Ham? Would it work for the future? Because if you have to think about it, Angeball is not the tactic to use for Forest, because you have to play wing backs. You have to play to define the players at 4-2-3-1 formation. You have to find the right players to fit into your team. But I just think they've got 2 easy fixtures next. They've got Sunderland, Burnley, plus they've got Betis at Europa League. So I just, don't keep your head down, because the owners ask you too much. But I don't think owners in the Premier League don't actually care about the managers. So yeah. Thanks guys for watching this video. Please hit the subscribe button if you're new. We'll be also doing the West Ham vs Spurs match review. And I'll be doing your Champions League matches Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and that's it. Yeah. Peace. I'm out. Oh, and abysmal performance.